Many years ago, a wayward meteor arced across the warm American night sky and ploughed into the backyard of a towering Gothic mansion. A brief explosion followed, a sudden flaring of lighted windows, and then silence, broken only by the sound of the crickets. So begins Maniac Mansion, released in 1987 for the Commodore 64 and Apple II, an affectionate spoof of mad scientist B-movies and campus splatter flicks. It's Psycho, Friday the 13th, The Addams Family, and Rocky Horror Show all rolled into one. A story of chainsaws, shower curtains, obscene phone calls, and microwave ovens. It was one of a new breed of adventure games that eliminated keyboard input by opting for a joystick-controlled cursor, which hovers over objects in the animation window and selects verbs and nouns from the vocabulary list at the bottom of the screen. We know this as the birth of SCUMM, Story Creation Utility for Maniac Mansion, the game engine that defined LucasArts point-and-click adventures. Actually, back then they were called Lucasfilm Games, and they were breaking new ground in a number of different places. For starters, you can play Maniac Mansion as one of 7 playable characters and switch between them at will, and the game has puzzles that can either only be solved by one character or have multiple solutions to one problem. Pretty groundbreaking for the time. Initially, you play the part of Dave, whose girlfriend, Sandy Pantz, has been kidnapped by Fred the Mad Professor, and is apparently preparing to dry clean her brains as part of his plan for world domination. Dave Miller, Sandy's clean-cut boyfriend and all-round jock, gathers a search party of 6 fellow students: Bernard, Jeff, Michael, Razor, Sid, and Wendy. Each character possesses unique abilities. For example, Sid and Razor can play musical instruments, while Bernard can repair appliances. A mix of streetwise punks, bookworms, and surfer dudes. Having selected the 2 people to accompany protagonist Dave, it's off to the mansion where the game can properly begin. According to the instruction booklet, the inhabitants of the mansion are weird, which is a bit like describing Hitler as a little eccentric. For starters, there's Fred's wife Edna, an ex-healthcare nurse who's into electric cattle prods, and her son Ed, a paranoid self-styled commando with a hamster fixation. Then there's dead cousin Ted, embalmed and living in a sarcophagus. This crowd are relatively sane when compared to the others to be encountered, such as the potted fern called Chuck, and a disembodied green tentacle who's a depressed hi-fi freak and wants to make it as a rock star. Then there's a nameless something behind the scenes, an alien being who's pulling the strings and who's got something to do with the meteor in the backyard. The mansion is a warren of rooms and corridors on several floors, and includes a photographic darkroom, a recording room, and a room packed with arcade coin-ops. Through all this moves your team of 3, either independently or as a group, doing all the usual adventure things, opening locked doors, picking up useless objects, completely failing to either solve the puzzles or to avoid the clutches of Fred and co. Some problems, like using the hidden lever to open the generator room door, need 2 characters. Fortunately, the programmers have done away with that infuriating convention which allows each character to only carry 1 or 2 items at a time, and Dave and his chums can stow away as many rotting turkeys, chainsaws and keys as they can lay their hands on. Much of the action is animated, at least to the extent that characters can walk up and down stairs and across rooms. More complex actions like playing the piano or tuning in an antique radio are represented by the character standing in front of the furniture with appropriate sound effects. At various times during play, the game will be interrupted by brief flashes from other parts of the house. These show what is currently happening to Sandy, who, despite her bravery, is due to have her brains sucked out. The game can be completed with any combination of characters, but the plot will be modified according to the selections you make. Thus you may play many entirely different games before truly completing Maniac Mansion. In summary, Maniac Mansion combines arcade action, visual clues, perplexing puzzles and a great sense of humour to create one of the best arcade adventures I'd ever seen as a kid. The control method is incredibly easy to use, and guiding 3 intrepid explorers around the mysterious residence is highly enjoyable. Discovering new locations and objects is always rewarding, and some logical thinking is required to progress deeper into the adventure. The player interaction is tremendous and gives the action a wonderful feel. Although the graphics and sound don't push back any barriers, they work together to create a believable, almost film-like atmosphere. Maniac Mansion is an innovative and polished adventure which shouldn't be missed, and if you want to get into love, lust, purple slime, medical experiments, electric cattle prods and radiation suits, then give it a whirl on your Commodore 64. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't be a tune ahead. Remember to hit the like button and let me know your thoughts about this absolute classic game in the comment section. If you're enjoying the nostalgia, then maybe consider subscribing to the channel and following me on this epic journey as we revisit classic games just like this. With plenty more on the channel playlists and more coming daily, I'm sure there will be many games that bring back some awesome memories. Hopefully, I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, bye for now. Just want to take a moment to thank the following patrons. It's massively appreciated that you're supporting the channel, covering the games we love. Stay retro.